Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Welcome to a new playthrough video. I'm kind of excited today. I get to play Core Space Firstborn. This is the first, it's not the mission, this is sort of it's called the exploration scenario. You can run this as many times as you like. It's supposed to represent your crew landing on an asteroid in the Firstborn, area of the galaxy and being able to explore. So the purpose of this particular mission is just get in, get some loot, and get out. The Firstborn really haven't awoken yet. They're sort of slumbering. So the hostility tracker is going to start very low. It's going to start with 0 pegs on it. Now what I'm going to do is, as I play the game, I'll try and cover some of the rules if you're not familiar with the game. And I may have to reference the book here and there, so you'll have to forgive me for that. But what I want to do is just go ahead and get started, and I'll sort of drop rules discussions as they come. Now, all of my I call them heroes. Cassie is a Marine, Wade is a crewman, and Balcor is a support character. They all start with a certain number of career points, and those career points can be assigned to skills on these little templates here that fit in the trays. Cassie has 4, so I've given her 4 unique skills in 4 different categories. Wade only started with 1, so I assigned it to him, and Balcor started with 1 as well, so he starts as 1. So they're very low-level characters, so my job today is not to take any significant risks. I don't want to lose any of my crew on the first mission. So let's go ahead and get started. My crew have docked or landed on the asteroid. Here is the entrance, and they get 2 actions per turn. And for each turn or each action, there's a list of actions like move, attack at a range, attack close quarters, search. You get 2 actions per turn. You can do 2 of 1. You can do any mixture of them, but 2 actions. There are some skills that give you bonus actions or allow you to do things that don't count as an action. So a move ability is 4 squares. Now, there are a lot of loot containers here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them scattered around here. But there are some dangers. There's some exhaust, I don't know what they call these, exhaust, what do they call these things? Exhausts, just plain exhausts. They can turn on and off randomly, and if you get too close to them, you'll take damage. These hibernation chambers each contain a liege, which is a bad guy, and if I open these before the hostility tracker reaches awake protocols, they die in their chambers. So obviously getting to those quickly is going to be sort of important. There are some number tokens. 1, 2, 3. Where's 4? Where's 4? 3, 4, 5, 6. These are where drones will pop up sometimes occasionally to check things out. If they don't see me, if I'm not in their line of sight, all is good. If I'm in their line of sight, not good. Now, the hostility tracker starts with 0 pegs, but the very first thing you do at the start of a game is you place a peg in the first one. And because it shows an icon of a drone beside it, you have to roll the green die to see if a drone appears. So you roll this die right here, and if a 1 face shows up, 1 drone. Is there any 2s on it? I guess there's no 2s on it. All right, so I rolled none. So no drone will show up this round, which is good for me. So Cassie, let me get a lay of the land here. 2 here. Cassie's my powerful. She's the more powerful one. These are close to the exit. So I think I want to get her more deep in because I think she can survive and fight her way out. Whereas like Wade and Balcor, I don't want to get them too far in. So she's going to make a beeline for these tubes, I think. And I've already loaded these tubes with random loot counters. The rules state that you pick 2 of the Firstborn loot out of this bag and load it. They also get, each one of them gets 1 small, what they call a nano tile, which is a real small tile, and I'll show those when they appear. So I'm going to get to this one. So I have left the doors open just so I can easily see where the doors are, but doors are typically closed. They're not locked, so all I have to do is just approach them. They open and I go through, and then they close again, as I understand the rule. So Cassie can go through here to get here, and then there's a door here to get up to this one, or she could just go that way. That might be the better thing to do. Huh. Yeah, let's do that. She's going to go, well, I want to avoid these drone alerts. So on the next hostility tracker phase, no drones will be rolled for. It's every other peg. So if she can move 8, she could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on her next turn, she could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, she could get out of line of sight of this one. So that's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she is moved, and I'll put a little token to indicate that her action is done. Next is Wade. Wade is going to go for that one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's through the door, and he has gone. Let's see. Let me turn my ringer off. So that doesn't bother. All right, Balcor. I want him. He's slow, and he's powerful. He can punch, but he doesn't have a great long-range weapon, so I don't want him to get too far out. So he's going to go 1. Wait, hold on. There's a door here. There's a drone here, so I don't want to come through here. I want to go in here first and see if a drone appears. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now he's not next to the door, so he won't trigger the door. And these tokens, I don't know if you can see them. They're kind of hard to see. There's 6 of them. They're placed randomly around. There's a chance that a worm could appear. Now, one thing I forgot to do, and I'm going to move this event deck down here, is after you put a peg in, you draw an event card. So technically, this should have happened first. Apologies. I'm in the patrol phase on the hostility tracker. It's broken into phases: patrol, inspection, aware, wake protocols, and then threat defense. As the hostility track moves up, there's a higher chance of more enemies appearing. We'll get to that. So for patrol, it was nothing. Your crew are focused and light on their feet. You may lower the hostility by 1. Well, I don't want to do that. It says you may, so I don't have to. The reason being is if I lowered it by 1, well, yeah, let's do that. Because then it goes to 0, and then on this phase, we'll roll for drones again, which is not what I want. Remember, I don't want that. So I'm not going to do it because on the next one, I don't want to roll for drones because I need Cassie to get away from this one in case I roll a 6. All right, so they have all moved. So normally what happens here is it goes to the enemy phase. If any enemies are on the board, they will react or move or what have you. Then it goes to the NPC phase. There won't be any NPCs in this particular scenario, but they're usually like characters like that you encounter that are not necessarily enemies, but they're not necessarily friendly either. But because I don't have any NPCs, I'm going to skip the NPC phase completely. So if you hear me just jump from enemy phase to the cleanup phase, that's normal. So now we go to cleanup phase. So I remove these tokens to indicate they can move again. We now go to the hostility tracker. We place a token, and again, this time around, there's no need to roll for drones. It's every other one, and I draw an event card. Now this one, something's going to happen no matter what the hostility tracker is set at. What just happened? The traders feel a sudden sickening shift as if the asteroid's gravity has failed. You feel like something is different. Roll the knowledge die and apply the effects. So the knowledge die is this purple die. So it's numbered 1 to 6. And I rolled a 4. 3 to 4. The 3 firstborn closest to traders each scatter 3 times. If there are not enough firstborn in play for each one. So it tells you that if you can't acknowledge it, there's no enemies, so there's no firstborn out. So you ignore it. Now scatter, what that means is you roll this knowledge die, and there's also arrows and numbers 1 through 6. So if it tells me to scatter a figure, you roll it and you move it in the direction of the arrow that number of spaces until it hits a wall, and then it stops. No matter how high the number is, it just stops. So no firstborn, so I don't have to acknowledge that. So now it's my turn. I'm going to get Balcor. He's next to the tube. He's going to go ahead and open it. And this is the best part of the game, by the way, I think, just not knowing what's in here and getting to see what you collect. So let's pop the cap off, pour these out. All right. So if you'll remember, I said you put 2 tiles in, 1 nano tile. So here's the 2 tiles. They're regular half-inch squares. Here's a nano. And then there was also, in all of the hibernation tubes, you put a material nano. And this is just like you're mining for materials. You can take this and sell it when you get back to the outpost. In between games, your crew travels to an outpost where you can upgrade your weapons, buy new weapons, sell equipment, things like that. So what I've got here, Balcor has 2 slots available on his tray. So you do have a limited amount that you can carry. This is what is this? It looks like it's called an artifact. If you have 1 of them, you can sell it for 4. If you have 2, you can sell both for 5. If you have 3, 7, and if you have all 4, you can sell them for 11 as a total, not 11 each tile. So right now, this is worth 4. I don't know what this is. Sometimes this is called a Port Ingram. I have no idea. This looks like a grenade, a freeze grenade. Ooh, that's interesting. And then, of course, some material. So I have to decide if I'm going to keep any of this. Well, let me look this one up. This thing called a Port Ingram. Let me see what that is. So they have, a lot of these tiles have symbols on them. So you sort of have to go and figure out how it works. That is called a Port Ingram. It's got a weird symbol, a little double arrow. It's got this symbol and a 3. And it says that once you use it, it can be used as a free action. And once you use it, you flip it over, and you can only use items that have the flip icon once per game. This item scatters the target the number of times shown, or twice if no number is shown, with no attacks of opportunity. Roll a single die. On a double hit, you can choose the direction. Otherwise, it is determined by the knowledge die. The target can be scattered through a wall or terrain piece, but cannot end its move on top of it. They cannot be scattered off the board, but can be scattered into midair if using multi-level terrain. Roll dice is shown for any characters within 1 and 2 squares, respectively. So it is sort of a grenade, I guess. That's cool. Roll dice as shown, if any, for... Oh, it doesn't show any dice, so... For characters within 1. Any hits will scatter them too. So basically, it scatters the target the number of times shown. And that's cool. Okay. It doesn't tell me whether it's a long range, short range, medium range, so I'm assuming it's just line of sight. That's kind of cool. I definitely think I may keep that. All right, so you put it in, who was that, Balcor? You put it in his tray. And then this right here is a freeze grenade. This weapon freezes the target and they miss their next turn. No dice required. Roll dice as shown for any characters within 1 and 2 squares. So any hits will freeze. So it's got a 2 and a 2. I'll have to figure out what that means, but that's kind of cool. And it's worth only 2. But and I can carry the nano particle for 6. So I'm going to load his tray up. 2 nanos count as 1 tile. This tile goes right back in. I'm not using it, and that is 1 turn done. So remember, he searched it for 1 action. Now he can... On my next turn, drones will roll. So if I go through this door, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to be in this room where a drone could possibly appear. So instead, for his second action, what I'm going to do is another search action of the room. Your character can do a search action. Each divided area is considered to be a room. You can search an area 1 time. You basically determine you're going to search it. You grab 1 token out of this bag randomly. You can keep it or not. And then you put a token like this to indicate it has been searched. And you can only search a room 1 time. So let's reach in and see what he finds. I put that was the wrong size. That should not be in here. Supposed to grab a tile, a 1-inch tile. All right, let's see. I grabbed 3 there. Let me try to grab just one. Just one. All right, there we go. All right, what did I get? It looks like a glove. The glove helps you with climbing, but it's worth 8 to sell. Ugh, that's hard to turn down. So I'm going to leave it here because if time permits and Cassie or Wade have space at the end of their turns when we're exiting, they might come in and grab it before they leave. So I'm going to leave it right here. Actually, you place it next to the character where they are. I believe that's what you're supposed to do. And that is Balcor's turn. All right. Let's get Wade up here. 1, 2, 3. He's next to it. So let's pop this cap and see what we got. All right. Wade also has 2 free spaces. So he got, what is this? A Dyson vent. 8. I don't know what that means. I'll have to look that up. He got an artifact. Oh, so he got half of this. So that's 2 pieces, which would be worth 5. But unfortunately, I'm not going to grab that. I'm going to put that back in. Oh, you know what? He got an extra. I put an extra one in. So let me just. I'm not going to look. I'm just going to. All right, this one goes away. I accidentally put 2 nanos in there, and what I got left is. It looks like a grenade. It's a 4 blaster. You discard when done. Ooh, yeah, I want to keep that. He'll keep the material, which he can sell for 2 credits. And this is called a Dyson vent. Let's look it up. When you're becoming familiar with this game, you'll be doing a lot of shifting through the manual to see what things are. Okay, this item can be used to make a ranged attack at up to medium range. The number of dice rolled is equal to the number of energy counters discarded during the attack, which may be some or all of those available. This item can be used to make a range. The number of dice is rolled is equal to the number of energy counters discarded during the attack. I don't have any energy counters. Dyson vent. Man, this is... Sometimes these things... Dyson equipment... Okay, here it is. Dyson equipment. This item extracts and stores firstborn energy. The first hit of each firstborn ranged attack made against the holder is negated. Oh, that's interesting. And an energy counter is placed on top of all items held with this icon. Each item can hold a number of counters up to the limit on these sides, so it can hold up to 5. If this number is exceeded, the item overloads. It is destroyed and the holder suffers an attack. Item has no effect if a character is wearing or benefit from shield armor, which I am. I do have shield armor for Wade. When sold, its value is increased by the number of UA equal to the counters. So it's plus... When it's sold, its value is increased by the number of UA equal to the counter. Oh, so for every counter on it, it goes up 8. Wow, that is... I'm going to hold on to that. Hopefully he gets shot at. And he can absorb... The first item extracts... The first hit from a ranged attack will be negated and put in energy. Okay, that's cool. All right, so Wade opened and searched. Or he moved and he searched. So he is done. And now we go to Cassie. Cassie needs to get away from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she's up there. Oh no, you know what? That's not an open. That is not a door that closes. That is a. All right. Let's see. Where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's going to get over here. She's out of line of sight, and she'll search that on her next turn. So she's moved her 2 turns. That is the end of the phase. No enemies. So I pick these up. And now I place another token. This time I will be rolling for drones. And what you do is you roll the green die and see if one shows up. And one will. Then you roll the purple die to see which point it shows up at. The drones are interesting. Let me show you how this works. So it's going to show up on space 1, which is right here. All right. So the drone appears at 1. And what it does is it does a 360 scan of the area. Now, Balcor is not near the door, so the door is closed. So this will not discover any enemies. Now, after the first time it scans, it goes down it comes up from the floor, it goes down, and it goes to the next tile. It goes 1, 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and then when it hits 6, it comes back to 1. So it's going to come here, and then it's going to peer at 2, and it's going to do the scan again. Well, there's no one in line of sight, so that drone will stay right there. I think, yeah, that's how it works. The drone will appear in the second one and just stop. And it is now time to draw the event card. I'm still in the patrol phase. Supper time. A rockworm arrives at the closest wormhole to a trader. I really hate this. All right, the closest one is right here near Balcor. Now, when the worm appears, it does not get treated like an enemy. It doesn't act during the enemy phase. Instead, it does what's called attack of opportunities. If you are anywhere within 2 squares of this, it will, when you take your turn, like when Balcor gets ready to run or move or whatever, it's going to get an attack of opportunity. So nothing I can do about that, and they are very hard to kill, at least low level. All right, so the worm has appeared. Now remember, even though I'm now on back to the normal hostility phase and it's time for my heroes to move, the minute I move Balcor, this is going to get to attack. So I might as well go ahead and do it. I don't like this drone over here. So Balcor, and also a drone could still appear at number 1. So Balcor is going to run. And when he does, he's got to run by the thing. So he's going to run 1. As soon as he moves, it's going to make an attack. Now you have this little card here that gives you the rules about the rockworm. Its range is 2 squares, so he's definitely within 2. Any character has permanently... All right, so if I had been standing on a wormhole when that does, that character dies instantly. So that's why you never want to end a move on a wormhole, on one of these worm pit things. Instead, they attack any character, enemy, take an action while in attack range. Worms do not alert. They do not alert drones, which is good. And they cannot be knocked prone, and they're immune to poison and fire. But it will get a 3 dice attack. Now, when you make an attack, you always roll the blue die, at least 1. And then for each additional die, you roll a red die. The red die have a 2. Oh, no, they don't. The 1 die has a 2 on it, 2 hits, and a jam. If you roll 2 jams when you use a weapon, or 2 of these symbols, it jams or it breaks if it's a physical, like a melee item. If you only roll 1, nothing happens. And the worm doesn't have to deal with those. So the worm's just making a 3 dice attack. And 1, 2, 3 hits. Now, Balcor has 1 shield. So one of these goes away. And there's nothing he can do about the other 2. So he loses 2 health. Just like that. That's how it goes. But now he can complete his things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He will not be coming back for the gloves in that room. So poor Balcor. All right, so he's done. Next is Wade. Where do I want to send Wade? If he goes through here, I got to be careful. I don't want to get him too far away. All right, so Cassie's going to deal with that one and that one. He could go through here, up. There's a wormhole up here, and there's a drone thing. Oh, man. You really want to take advantage of the fact that the drones, stay out of their line of sight if they're going to appear at these pop-up stations. I could go in here and make my way over to that one. This is tough. Okay. There's loot to be got. Well, you know what? They're full. So the only thing I can do is find loot and then swap it out with something because they can't carry much more. So I think he's going to have to head back and provide support for Cassie. So I think that's what I'm going to do. For his turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's going to... Oh, you know what? No, he's not going to... He wants to stay out of line of sight. Oh, this one can see... Oh, boy. I didn't think about that. Well, it's too late now. Know your line of sights. This is not a door. This is just an open passage. This can see Balcor. Oh, if I roll a 6 on the next drone thing, I may be in trouble. All right, so that is the end of. I'm gonna have. Actually, hold on. He was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm gonna have him do a search of this room. So remember, you can put a search token down, and you get to pick one token out of the bag. And I got a repair fibril. So weapons and things can get damaged, like on your ship over time. This is sort of like a campaign. Things go on and on. This will allow me to do 1 unit of repair. It's worth 3, but again, his thing is fully, loaded, so he can't take it. So he'll put it there, and that is the end of his turn. So all I've got now is Cassie. Cassie will open this. Lid comes off. And she's right here, yeah. So I got that glove thing again, which is worth 8. That's a lot of money. I got a Dyson Draw. It draws power, and it's an explosive. Oh man, that's hard to turn down. She's going to keep that. What is it worth? 5. But it doesn't have any power on it, so it's not worth anything. But I'm still going to keep it until she searches that and sees what's in there. She also got the gloves, which are worth 8. Absolutely, I'm going to keep those. She got one of these little. It's a grenade again. And this says that it's got this symbol, and I believe I remember this symbol. It lets you from the core space game. It lets you switch 2 characters' positions. Items with this icon can only be used in pairs, with each held by a different trader. When a trader uses one of the item, flip it and corresponding and swap them. Okay, so both characters have to have one in order for it to work. It's worth 3, but she's got space. Why didn't I was supposed to have a. Put that. Oh, the bottom fell out. There was supposed to be a. Oh no! In the chests there are not the little material things. Never mind. All right, so she searched it. Now she can move. That's a corridor. So rather than move here and be spotted by number 6, actually on my next turn there will not be any drones. So she's going to move. She was here 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is the end of her turn. All right, so it is now. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot this drone down here. So the drone has a mission. Once it's available, once it's there, it will behave in a certain way. So how that works is on page 36. All right. So that drone did appear during the 3rd phase. All right, so it's now here. All right, so the drone AI chart. Is it in base contact with an enemy? No. Is there a target within line of sight? No. Move towards the nearest enemy. Well, the nearest enemy is going to be Wade, way down here. Oh, I totally didn't notice that this was a open corridor. So it can see him now. So yes, once I moved Balcor out here, it moves into line of sight of the drone. So now, is there a target within line of sight? Yes. Will moving increase the chance of success? No, because it can fire at long range. Oh yeah, if it moves, it can fire. So it would move 1, 2, 3, 4. It's within range. Oh yeah, it's within range. It gets 2 actions. So the first action it moves, now it's going to fire. So, can't believe I did that. Oh, and the other problem, I now have is since the drone is alerted, it's no longer patrol phase. So let's do this. We'll resolve its attack. It makes a 2 dice attack against Balcor. Remember, this is the enemy phase. And I got 1 hit and a jam. So 1 hit, and remember, he has armor, so nothing happens. But because this was triggered, you fill up the patrol. It's now alerted. This fills up, and so on the next, at the start of the next turn, we will be in the inspection phase. I haven't fired my gun yet. By the way, when the first time any character every round fires their weapon, you take the ammo counter, instead of discarding it, you put it in the tracker, so it makes the tracker move up faster. Okay, so it fired, and now it is time for the hostility tracker. So again, I put 1 token in here. Now, we are in the inspection phase, and what this means is 1 drone will automatically appear. You don't have to roll for it. You just roll for the location. It's going to appear at number 4, which is, where's number 4? Right there. And number 4 can see Cassie. There's an open quarter here. Okay. And then you roll to see if a liege appears. You roll the green die, and 1 does appear. You roll where it shows up. It shows up at number 2. Now, around the board, and I totally forgot to place these. I can't believe I did that.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.
There are 6 places where the enemies will show up, or can show up. And let's see, what did I roll? Number 2. I can't remember what I just rolled. Here it is. Nope, that's the wrong mission briefing. Okay, where is the mission? All right, apologies. I just rolled it, and I can't even remember, and I can't rewind the video without stopping it. Let's roll it again. It's going to appear at number 4, which I believe that's what I rolled. 4. My memory. So 4 is up here. So Cassie now has a liege, which is right here. Shows up at number 4. So on the enemy phase, that thing will get to attack. All right. So I did this. Now I have to roll. Now I have to draw an event card, and patrol through cleanse. So all strange object. There it is. It was always there on the floor, right in front of your eyes. You pick it up and are immediately overcome by intoxicating visions. Multiple possible futures dance across your mind's eye. Keep this card and discard it during any of your trader's turns. That trader uses one of their actions this turn to communicate the strange vision to the rest of the crew. After doing so, for the rest of the round, all traders in your crew may re-roll up to 2 dice on all assault rolls. That's kind of cool. By the way, the Firstborn have these like psychic powers that they use. We'll get to that in a minute. It's a pain, but we will get to it. There's a lot going on in this game, by the way. Okay, so it is my turn. So Cassie sees the liege, and I need to deal with it. So she is going to shoot. That is, it's short range. It's less than this is medium, so it's she's at short range, so she can use 1 die. The gun indicates 1. However, she has some special abilities. She has marksman, which, let me look at that one. What does that do? That allows her to do just a ranged attack for free. So I could do another one. Does she have anything that will help her? The reaction shot is when you are fired at, you get to do a return shot. That could come in handy. She also has this red thing called stubborn, which allows her to move. She has lots of options here. So let's see how the dice roll. Remember, I have this. Keep this card and discard it during any of your trader turns. That trader uses one of their actions. After doing so, the rest of the round, all traders and crew may reroll up to 2 dice. The bad news is she's only able to roll 1 die. That stinks. All right. And she's not her physical hand-to-hand combat is not good. She's got evade, which could be interesting. All right, let's roll it and see what happens. I rolled 1. Now the downside is the liege has 1 shield, so it absorbs that and it takes it. What I really need is to roll the 2. So for her second action, she's gonna fire again. Oh, by the way, she loses a peg, and remember it goes in here. All right, so let's do this. Yeah, hold on. Nothing. She can burn a skill to make one more roll. Man, she really needs a 2-fire weapon. What do I do here? Well, you know what I could do? I can get out of that. Drone's going to fire at me too. So I need to evade. So I'm going to burn a skill. When you burn a skill, you can only do one per turn. You take a skill peg out, and you get to do that action. So she has something called Evade Level 1. Yeah. So Evade Level 1 says, it's just for engaging when it moves into, when an enemy engages you, move, ignoring attacks of opportunity. Okay, so that won't help. But she does have, she has marksman. She can't really, so her first action was she shot. She used a skill point. I did a skill point to fire again, and she missed. So she's got one more action. I'm gonna move her. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. She's right here. She didn't get to investigate this, but she's out of the line of sight of the liege. But it doesn't matter because that liege is coming after me. That is her turn. Where did I put that token? 1, 2. Oh, sorry. Right there. All right, so she is done. Balcor and Wade haven't gone. I don't know why. I didn't remove these. That's the problem. Okay. Balcor is going to need to shoot. Unfortunately, his weapon is only it's a short range weapon. So this thing is not close enough. So Balcor, if he moves 1, 2, 3, 4, he's still out of range. But the drone on its turn is going to move closer and take another shot. Oh, I got Wade here. I'm going to have Wade step through. 1. Wade has a medium range weapon. 1, 2. So medium is anything beyond this, but less than the long. Okay, so he's going to step out of the door, and he's going to fire at this. He gets a 1 die attack. Yeah, 1 die only. Oh, he's got a blast weapon. He could throw that thing, and that would be cool. But I hate to use that on a drone. Let's see what happens. Nothing. He fires his weapon. Now, I've already fired my weapon this turn, so I don't put this peg in here. But he's down in ammo. So he moved, and he fired, and he is done. So Balcor is the only one that can help. Balcor will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's moving closer to the drone so that on his next turn he'll be able to take a shot. He's pretty beefed up, so he can take the hits. And that is his turn. Now it's the enemy's turn. Well, the worm can't do anything. The drone is within distance of Balcor, so it will fire. It fires, it rolls 2 dice attack. It gets 1 hit, but Balcor has 1 shield, so that blocks. So it will fire again for its second action. And this time it does get 2 hits. 1 goes away with the shield, so Balcor takes a health point hit. All right, that was this one. Let's do the liege. Actually, you do the drones first. Actually, no, you're supposed to go highest rank to lowest rank. So technically, this should have gone first. The liege will move 1, 2, 3, and he can see me now. So he is within range. And now here's the fun part of the game. The Trueborn, or not the Trueborn, the Trueborn have these special abilities. The Firstborn, excuse me. If they have this little purple number near on their description, they get to roll the knowledge die, which allows them to do psychic things to you, and it sucks. So the first thing he's going to do is he moves, and he's going to do the psychic attack. And I rolled a 1. The first time a character attacks each round, roll the knowledge die alongside the attack. So it will attack with 2 dice. So it rolls these, and it missed, but it still gets the 1 says it gets +1 action. So technically, it can fire again. So it moved. That was 1 action. It fired. That was its second action. But this +1 gives it 1 more action. So it will fire again, and it gets 2 hits. Wade has a energy shield belt that he's wearing. It has a power of 1. What happens is any power over and above it basically overloads it, and it passes through. So he loses a health, and his belt is no longer working for the game. It's out of order until the next game. I don't know. He was firing at Cassie. Never mind. Cassie has 1 shield, so she takes 1 of those. Let me put that 1 back. Wade needs all the health he can get. Cassie was the one being attacked. Cassie loses a health because she has 1 shield, but it got 2 hits. So she takes a hit, and now it's the drone. Now remember, the drone has the special rules, and it's going to take me a little while to memorize these, but I'll keep working on it. So the drone is it in base contact? No. Is there line of sight? No. Will moving increase the chance of success? No. Make a range. Will moving increase the chance of successful attack? And it says no. Oh no, I'm sorry. Is there a target within line of sight? No. Move towards the nearest enemy. So first action, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then is the target within line of sight? No. It moves again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it can see Cassie, but it's moved both its actions, and that is the end of the round of the enemy phase. So it's back to me. Collect these tokens and put a peg in. Roll for the drone. Where does it appear? It appears at number 3. Number 3 is right here. Then roll to see if a liege appears. It does. Where does it appear? At number 6. Liege appears at number 6, which is right here. Oh, that's not good. Draw an event card. Catastrophic release. If there is a Dyson reactor on board, there is, and it has been destroyed, discard it and draw another. Well, it hasn't been destroyed. If all exhausts on the board are active, remove any counters. Otherwise, all exhausts on the board become active. So here's what happens. Let me get the fire. Hold on. So these 2 exhausts become active. You put this fire thing in here, and basically any creature, me or the firstborn, that moves within 1 inch of the exhaust, is it 1 inch or 2? 2. Within 2 squares takes damage, takes an attack because of the heat. But thankfully these are far enough away from me I don't have to worry about them. All right, let's keep going. All right, and I got to remember, I've still got this fascinating artifact I can turn in. I may need to do it in a minute. Okay, it is my turn. Cassie is now at close range. So she's got still got a 1-shot weapon. She could shoot at the liege. Oh, she has this. The Dyson draw. I totally forgot. She did not lose that health. Instead, one of those energy tokens gets put on it. Let me do this. All right. So I put one of these energy tokens on the item. Cool. So it absorbed it. Now getting, this thing can hold a maximum of 3. So, and it's already worth 5 sale when I get back if I want to sell it. So I might want to take some shots to absorb them, but I need to get gone. There's a liege down here to deal with. So let me do this. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. She's around the corner. The liege can still see me. That's unfortunate. And she is going to shoot No, she can't. She's going to go ahead and move 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. She's going to move all that way because I need... they're still going to be able to target me. All right. I have my reasons because I've got Wade here. Wade. Let's do Balcor. Balcor is going to shoot. He has a one-shot weapon. Actually, you know what? Well, he's on a wormhole. I'm not going near that thing. I could go to the side of it. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go to the side of the wormhole and punch this thing. Why? Because he gets 3 dice attack when he uses hand-to-hand. He's a big boy. All right, let's see what I come up with. That is 1 hit, 2 hits. Now, it has 1 shield, so that goes away, but this 1 hit is enough to destroy it, so that is gone. And that is his second action, so he is done. Hopefully a worm does not appear at number 1. And now let's get Wade in the fight. Wade is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's going to shoot at that liege. He has a 2 dice attack weapon. Yep, not going to use that grenade. And I got 1 hit, which is unfortunate because the what do you call it? The liege has armor, and then this peg goes. He fired an ammo, so that peg goes in. That was the first shot fired, so it goes in here. So he moved and he shot. That is his last turn. However, he does have a special ability, counter shot. When a target makes a ranged attack, so this is going to be good for him because, well, it could be good for Cassie because she has it too. And I forgot to do this earlier, but Cassie has a special skill she could have used called counterattack, which when you get shot at, you get to make a shot back. And I'm going to use that now. All right, so it is now the enemy phase. Well, the worm can't do anything. This drone is gone. This drone will, there's no enemy, so it will move towards the closest enemy, which is Balcor. It will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it will go 1, 2, 3, 4. It can see Balcor, but it can't shoot because it has now moved 2 actions. The liege. This one, actually, I always forget to move the liege before the drones. This liege is going to shoot at Cassie because she's the closest. So it makes a ranged attack. Now remember, is it the first time? The first time a character with attacks each round. So it gets to roll the purple die again. So it's making a 2 dice attack with the purple. All right, so the 1 hit is absorbed by her armor, so it goes away. That does nothing, but it rolled a 4. 4 is damage from the attack removes skill pegs instead of health. So thankfully that did not happen, but it does get to make a second attack now. It will attack again, but not with a purple die this time. And 1 hit again is absorbed by her armor. So she is okay. This one will move 1, 2, 3, 4, and it sees Cassie, and it is within. Yep, it can do it. So it will use the purple die and a red and blue. 1 hit, no hit. So absorbed by her armor, and I rolled a 2. Mark the target with a fear counter. Okay, let me get the fear counter. All right, the fear counter. So Cassie has the fear counter, which is not good because now she can't use her skill to fire back at it. Let me tell you what fear does. Fear is page 37. So the first fear counters will be generated. Okay, when a character marked with a fear activates. So remember, she's already activated. So on her next turn, when it activates, they will not perform their actions as usual. Instead, all of their actions must be spent moving as far away as possible from enemies, provoking opportunity attacks if engaged, which she's not. They will not engage enemies during the move, but will run through hazards such as exhaust vents. Sustaining damage is normal. Once these actions have been completed, the character's turn is over and the fear counter is removed. Traders may spend a skill peg when they activate to remove the fear counter and take their turn as normal if no fear counters remain. I'm going to do that. So she will lose a skill thing on her turn. This one shot at her. She got the fear token, but on my turn, I'm going to get rid of that. So this one can move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't fire through an enemy, so it will move again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got these things are coming at me. All right. Done, 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 done. That's the end of the round. We put a token in the event thing. We place a drone. Where does the drone go? Number 2, which is right here. Balcor is eyeballing it. Then I roll to see if a liege appears. Of course it does. Where does it appear? Number 6. Number 6 was right. Let's see where number 6 is. Next time I'll try to remember to put those tokens back that tell you where to put the arriving. All right, number 6 is over here. Way over here. That's good for me. All right, the liege appears right here. Number 6. Okay. But it can see Balcor, so that's not good. Balcor's going to have to book it. It is now my turn. I pick these tokens up. Did I draw the event card? I did not. Let's draw the event card. Inspection. Sudden power. If there are any Dyson reactors on the board, they activate immediately, following normal rules. Okay, so the Dyson reactor is here. Any inactive exhausts become active. After resolving their effect, if any, mark all exhausts inactive and remove any counters they have. Okay, so these are going to turn off. Okay, that's cool. Any Dyson equipment tokens in play. Any Dyson equipment gain 1 energy counter. Ooh, she's got 1. It gains 1, and he's got 1. He gets 1. That's cool. All right, so here's how the reactor works. Reactors activate when hostility reaches wake protocols. Well, but it's not in wake. But it says if there are Dysons, they activate immediately. Okay, so it doesn't matter that it's not in the wake protocol. It's going to activate unless instructed otherwise. While active, add an energy counter in each assessment phase. You put energy counters in the Dyson sphere. Traders may interact to move any number of energy counters onto a Dyson item. Wow, that's awesome. While reactors have energy counters, it can be assaulted. It has a physical armor of 3, and any damage will destroy it. When destroyed, characters within X squares suffer X dice, ignoring cover, where X is the number of counters in the reactor. Okay, well, there aren't any right now while active, but I will put one in there. It's not going to really matter, so I'll put this energy counter in here. And by the way, I get 2 more somewhere. You put 2 tokens, so she's got 2 on that, and now, actually, I think she has 3, because didn't it fire at her? But it didn't go through the armor. Technically, I could have put it on there, but I'm not going to go back and undo that, so I'll just say she just has the 2. And remember, this can hold a maximum of 3, so I don't need her shot at anymore, which is going to be she has the fear token. Remember the fear token? Well, this is going to work out for me because she can get back to the ship. She's going to move her full action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's like, I'm out of here. She gets on the ship. She is done. So she won't take any more shots here and overload that. Let's get Balcor out of here. Well, Balcor can shoot. Yeah, he can shoot. So he will actually... There's another drone here. He's going to run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He is done. Wade's going to take a cheap shot at the Liege with his 2-shot weapon. And I'm going to burn this fascinating artifact, which says I can re-roll up to 2 dice. So if it doesn't hit, I'm going to roll it again. I get 1 hit, absorbed by shield. So I'm going to use this fascinating artifact. Turn it in. After doing so for the rest of the round, all traders may reroll up to 2 dice. Well, he's the only one, and I got nothing. So he shot, and he's like, well, we're out of here. On his second action, 1, 2, 3, 4, he's back on the ship. So Balcor is the only one I got to get out of here. It is now the enemy phase. This one turns and sees Balcor. Actually, he'll move. Might as well. He'll move right here so he has a clear line of sight. He makes a 2 dice attack, and he also uses the purple die. No hits, but number 2. Number 2 is mark target with a fear counter. Great. So the fear counter is now on Balcor, and it will make another attack, by the way. And 1 hit is absorbed by his armor, so nothing happens. These drones, 1, 2, 3, 4. The drone can fire at him, so it will. It rolls 2 dice. 1 hit, but absorbed by his shields, or his armor. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it can't fire through, it can't do line of sight, so it can't fire. This one, well, let's do the liege first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can he see me? No, he cannot. So he will move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he can see me. But the good news is Balcor's got the fear token, so he's going to get out of here. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can it see him? No, it cannot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it can see me, but it moved its 2 actions. So it doesn't really matter at this point. Well, it kind of does. I have to draw an event card. I put a token. I roll for a new drone. So even though I know he's going to get out of here, you still got to roll for it. So the drone will appear at number 4, which is up here somewhere, right there. And the liege, does a liege appear? No, it does not, finally. And then draw an event card. Exhaust burst. If there is a Dyson reactor and it has been destroyed, discard it. It's still fine. Otherwise, choose an inactive exhaust and activate it. All right, fine. This one activates. Place 2 reminder counters on the exhaust. Okay, and then when each round 1 gets removed, and then when they're gone, it turns off. Okay, that's fine. Now it's my turn. Well, he can run 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is on the ship, and he is done. I'm pretty sure the fear token will allow you to control moving as far away as possible from any enemies. Okay, so yeah, so he's going on the ship. And that is the end of that. So let's do a quick summary. That was fun. That was really fun. So I almost made it to the aware stage on the hostility. One more, and then the next one would have been aware. Once I make it to aware, not only do drones appear 2 per round, and liege 1 per round automatically, no rolling for that. I roll a die to see if the, what do they call it, iconoclasts, which are these armored firstborn, and they're nasty. They get a 4 dice hand attack or a 3 dice ranged attack, and they have 2 armor. They're hard to kill. And you also roll a purple die to see if the Trueborn. The Trueborn is this creature that they're bad. You just don't want to mess with them. Not low level, you won't. But the Trueborn only arrives on a roll of a 6, a 1 in 6 chance. But then when you get to Wake Protocol, you roll the green die. And the green die has a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 4 out of 6 chance of appearing. So as the hostility marker grows up, you're really getting in danger here. Okay, well, I wasn't able to inspect this one, this one, this one, or this one. So there was some loot that did not get left on the table, but I did get some cool stuff that I can sell back at the outpost. And I will sell it because right now I'm low on funds. So this is going to net me 10 credits because of the 2 tokens on it. Wade has one that's going to net me 8 tokens, or 8 units, so that's really good. And then I've got some material to sell. I can sell this one for 2, so 10, 18, 20, and then Balcor has one, 20, and then 26. And he has a grenade that he could sell for 2, but I think I'm going to hold on to that. So yeah, so 22 credits. Is that right? 26, 20, 10, 18, 24, 26 credits that I can spend at the outpost when I get there. All right, if you have any questions about this, please post them in the comments. Please recognize I play this for fun, solo. There are hundreds of rules to try to remember. So if I made a mistake, let it go. It's fine. Again, I'm doing this for fun. I'm not doing it to adhere to the rules as written 100% of the time. If I make an error, I made an error, and I can live with that. So up next will be mission number 1. Remember, this was not really one of the campaign missions. Mission number 1 is called Who Goes There? And it looks like it does have worms as a possibility. So this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me as I played through my first game of Core Space Firstborn. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back next Thursday with another Core Space video. Until then, everybody, take care.